In this video, you'll see how to share an experiment from E-WorkBook to Connect, and you will see how that record transfer process takes place. So let me just talk a little bit about what you're seeing at the moment. You're looking at E-WorkBook version 10.3, and on the left-hand side you can see a hierarchy that's been set up, and we have three visible nodes: a demonstration area, some IDBS user accounts, which is the hierarchy we have set up here, and then this new icon that's perhaps unfamiliar, which is a collaboration icon, which represents a Connect instance that I can share to, and the workspaces that I've set up to be visible underneath this that I would want to share into. Remember, a workspace in Connect is a private area that is invitation only, that allows you to share experimental content with other people who you've invited into that workspace. So let's create a new E-WorkBook experiment. Within here, the type of experiment we're going to create is called a Connect experiment. I'm going to use a standard template to do that. So let's have a look in my area where I can find a template. And the dialog that you see of a Connect experiment is very similar to that of an E-WorkBook one, with some small additions, and the main one being this Connect transfer status that is shown up here. Let's give it a name. And we have a very traditional E-WorkBook experiment, which I can open up and just show you how that looks inside, with some data that may be brought in onto search or under usual behaviors of an experiment. And I'm going to skip a few steps. I'm going to imagine that we've done some analysis, or we may have filled in some detail, and now we want to share this with a partner. And we can see that I've set this up to show the status of the transfer, which is not ready, and Connect transfer message as being blank at the moment because we haven't shared anything. And I've created this experiment in the workspace C in Connect. So what I do now is I shall go in, edit the experiment, change the status to ready for transfer, save that, and then let's just give this a new version save. I'm required to enter a comment here, and that experiment is now version saved, and will start to pick up and be transferred. So if I just refresh this page, you can see that the experiment has transferred, and as the experiment has succeeded. And if we now go to my Connect area, here I am in Workspace C, and in the Users tab, if we now have a look at the Experiments tab. So I go to the Experiments tab, and we can now see that there's an experiment that we've just shared just now, and I can open that up. And this behaves very similarly to how you saw it behave in E-WorkBook. With the same data that was present in the E-WorkBook client. And again, users can then update and change and modify this as required by their workflow. Once you make updates and modifications, a new preview is generated, and comments can be added, additions or subtractions to this experiment can be added, such as new items or files. So let's just go and add another file into here. Now we have two items, spreadsheet, and a nice picture of a colored knot. Let's say that that's now completed. A PDF will have been generated of all of this experiment. There's also an audit trail that you can have a look at to see all the things that have changed. That's all been happening seamlessly behind the scenes. And you can also share this experiment if you needed back to E-WorkBook, where an updated version will be shown. So if we refresh E-WorkBook now, and what we see is that this has now been updated from Connect, and as well as the original spreadsheet, we now have our picture.